Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have tonight's broadcast for volleyball. It's the EDC quarterfinal between the number 3 Sheyenne Mustangs, who stand at 23-8, taking on the number 6 Fargo North Spartans, who are standing at 20-11. Alongside is Carrie Karch once again here. This is our third game calling. The third time we've called the game with each other, and we're excited to get the postseason rolling here. After tonight, all the teams that advance are going to head up to Red River for the semifinal and consolation semifinal games. So, Carrie, how are you feeling about tonight? You know, Sheyenne was kind of coming off a few losses there at the end of the season, but hopefully they can kind of turn it on here as the postseason gets underway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping they can put it all together here tonight. Obviously, we know in playoffs anything can happen. Everybody's going to bring their best game, but from the Mustangs, I really think if they can put 6 players out on the court that all play together, they're going to be a tough team for anybody in the state to beat. So I'm hoping we see that out of them tonight for sure.
So as you guys know, for those who don't know how the tournament format works, so you got to win 2 out of 3 games. If you win your first 2, you earn an automatic bid to the state tournament, and then you just play for the 1 seed in the championship. And then if you lose your first 2, then you are done. If you lose and then win, you'll go to state. And the higher seed between the state qualifiers is whoever is, for the 3 or 4 seed, is whoever's the higher seed out of those 2 winners. And the winner taking on, after tonight, the winner of West Fargo and Valley City will play each other in the semifinals. The host will be the higher seed. And then on the top side of the bracket, you got Shanley and Grand Forks Red River, and then Davies and Fargo South. So there's been a lot of good teams coming down the wire here, and it's really anyone's race here. It's anyone's game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody in the EDC right now seems to be peaking at the right moment, so it really is anybody's game, and it's going to be all about who wants it more, who plays harder, and who's ready to put together a full game.
So as you take a look at some of the history, Sheyenne is looking to make their 4th straight trip to the state tournament. Fargo North has 5 state titles, 7 state championship appearances. Their last state title came way back in 2000, and they haven't been to the state tournament since 2011. So North's kind of looking to break a drought here starting tonight, hopefully to win 2 or 3 games here in the EDC tournament to get back to the state tournament. And, Fargo North's a great program. They gave Sheyenne a run for their money last time out. They were up 2 sets to 1, and then Sheyenne was able to fight their way back and win in 5.
Yeah, definitely. I expect a good fight tonight out of both sides, but Fargo North has had such an awesome and a successful season so far this year, and at that 6th seed, getting a berth into the state championship is right within their grasp, and it's definitely going to be a battle, I think, tonight for both teams. And
Cheyenne's had a pretty good season overall, though, across the board, and, for the past, 3 years, they've really peaked. In 2019, they got all the way to the state semifinal, and they unfortunately lost to Bismarck Century, which is a tough team. They made the state championship every year since 2011, but Sheyenne took them to 5 sets, and they eventually beat Shanley in the 3rd place game. And then last year, kind of a tough run for them in the state tournament. They came out in 7th place, so this year they're kind of looking to finish some unfinished business, kind of.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I really think when they come together as a team, like I said, Jaxson, it's going to be tough for anybody in the state to beat them. Regardless of which 6 are out on the court, it doesn't matter. But together, they play together as a team so well when they get it rolling. And I'm excited to see what kind of run they have at the tournament this year.
So Fargo North swept Grand Forks Central on Saturday, 25-11, 25-15, and 25-22 to punch their way into the quarterfinal round. And what do you think Fargo North has to do here against Sheyenne tonight, Carrie? Because, Cheyenne's a team that's known to kind of come out flat at the start, and Fargo North, that was a big factor in the last time these 2 teams played. Fargo North kind of came out strong. They were up like 20-8 in the first set. So what do you think Sheyenne has to do to kind of keep Fargo North under control?
I think really you're going to see it be a race to the first 5 points. If North can start out right out of the gate, like you said, Jaxson, they typically have started out a little bit slower. If they don't tonight and Cheyenne's playing catch-up, I think we're going to kind of go point for point, and it's going to be a long first set. But really, we'll see who brings it those first 5 points. I think that's going to be a telltale sign of how the match is going to go.
So, Cheyenne, they have won 8 of the last 10 matchups since 2017. And as I said, they won in 5 sets back on Thursday, September 9th during homecoming week after trailing 2 sets to 1. So what do you think Fargo North has to do against, a Sheyenne team that's really been all around?
Yeah, I think they're really just going to have to focus on being disciplined. They're going to have to bring a good defensive game, put up a solid block. Cheyenne's got so much height and so much aggressive hitters in the front row that they're going to have to bring it right away from the net and then defensively line up around it and be ready to be scrappy.
Well, that's going to do it for our little short segment here on the Essentia Health pregame show. We do want to remind you guys that Essentia Health is the premier sponsor for Sheyenne High School's Mustang Media and this team and this broadcast. So we'll come back and kind of talk about some of the key players as the game is about to get underway here in less than a minute. We'll be back shortly. So we are back here. You know, some of the key players, Carrie, for Sheyenne, you know, you take a look at the defensive specialists. You got Mia Engel, Lydia Stevenson, Kira Karnow, Callie Dodds, and Kennedy Coulter. Some of these players actually serve as well, so they're pretty good in the back row. You know, you got Mia and Lydia making a lot of digs this season.
Absolutely. Our defensive specialists have been really consistent, bringing those aggressive serves right out of the gate and then defending from then on. So we are back here after that short break for the national anthem. So as we were saying, Carrie, you know, Cheyenne's an all-around team. We just talked about the defensive specialists. Now, you know, let's get into the outside hitters. You got Kaylee Wasdorp, Reagan Bogenreef, and Lexi Terark, who plays right side and outside. So really, they're pretty all-around on the outside there. You got Reagan Bogenreef, Lexi Terark, and, you know, Wasdorp getting a lot of kills for us, which is key. Absolutely, absolutely, and they're all so well-rounded. They have a great arsenal, meaning they can hit anywhere out in the court. They can hit at different speeds, different paces to keep defensive players guessing. We lean on them a lot offensively, but yeah, they're great players all around.
Well, then you take a look at in the middle as well. This is where I think they've been the biggest. Getting a lot of blocks up front. You got Chloe Brown, Callie Tungseth, and Vivian Height up there in the front. They're all tall, and they can get a lot of blocks up there up front. So how have the middle hitters contributed to, you know, the success?
Yeah, I think as a middle hitter, sometimes the hardest part of the game is being a middle blocker and actually working hard to close those blocks. And both Vivian Height and Callie Tungseth do an awesome job getting closed every single time. But from Height and Tungseth and Brown, they're big momentum players too. They swing so hard and swing so aggressively that when they get a nice big kill, it really pulls Cheyenne up, and they're able to make a run off of it too. So the momentum is huge from those players.
And, you know, when I took a look at the film from our last broadcast against Fargo North, you know, they got some pretty good players on the outside as well. Reagan Carlson at outside hitter. Hayden Tollefson at outside hitter. You got Evie Burr at defensive specialist. Taylor Tedford at defensive specialist. Jocelyn Sweet at middle hitter, Sweet at middle hitter and right side. And then you got Emily Skalicki at server, and then Grace Miller at right sides. And, you know, they got a bunch of role players to fill in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a dynamic team. They've been playing hard all season. And, again, I think it just comes down to which 6 out on the court, which side of the net, who's going to work harder, and it's going to be a battle.
Well, yeah, you know, both of these teams, the ball was all over the place. There was a lot of digs last time out. You know, Fargo North was making 1, 2, 3 kind of punch hits, and they were all on the floor. And then Sheyenne was doing the same thing. Bogenreef made one great play with her she hit it up with her left forearm to get it over the net. It was just back and forth, and Sheyenne. It was good to see Sheyenne have their poise to stay in it after trailing 2-1 and coming back and winning in 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you play defense like that, that's all guts. That's all mental toughness, and that's that tenacity on defense, and that's definitely going to be key as well tonight. You got to have that. Those are momentum plays, and getting a big kill off of it is huge.
So, you know, not as big of an attendance as we expected.
Yeah.
I don't know if people thought the game started at 7. It's actually starting here at 6. But, you know, we'll see if the crowd can kind of fuel Sheyenne tonight, as it's the postseason, everybody, and you know, you gotta be hyped.
Yep. They're gonna have to create their own noise, create their own energy, and hopefully that draws the fans in.
Yeah, because you know, it was loud last time. It was all the thing that was big about the matchup last time out. It was a 2-point matchup, which kind of propelled Sheyenne way up in the standings. They eventually dropped to that 3rd seed coming into this one, but Fargo North they have a good overall record. As I said, they're 20-11, but they're a 6 seed, and that 2-point loss earlier in the year kind of hurt them in the EDC standings because it goes by EDC points.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely not a team to count out for sure, and definitely not a team that Sheyenne should be overlooking right now by any means.
Absolutely. So, how big what do you guys work on generally in practicing over the summer? You know, in the middle hitters, you know, I'm assuming you guys work on a lot of timing because all those blocks, it's just incredible. And then the serving, I think, is also a big factor in this. You know, there was a lot of serving errors against Davies in that game we called. There was a couple serves at the end where, you know, a lot of serving errors that went long. It kind of gave Davies free points, and they were able to use that momentum to capitalize.
Yeah, absolutely. In the summer, that's what we work on. We work on keeping things up-tempo, bringing energy at all times. If you don't have the energy, how do you create it? Just like they're going to have to do it tonight, they might be nervous. They might, feel the pressure a little bit. So how do you bring the energy? How do you get yourself hyped up? A lot of timing, a lot of repetitions in the summer so that it becomes natural and it almost becomes muscle memory to do some of those things, whether it's offensively or defensively.
And, you know, Leah Nguyen's kind of been notching off the checklist, you know, as head coach and getting this team where it needs to be. And what do you think she says to her girls tonight coming in to this first postseason match against a great Fargo North squad?
I think as a coach, you want them to focus on what they do well, focus on your side of the net. And if Sheyenne executes, they play the game that they're capable of, I think they're going to control a lot of the match. So if I were Coach Newton, I would be focusing on our side of the net, our team, and then pushing from there for every point.
We are about to get underway here from Sheyenne Gymnasium, a little quieter than we expected up here.
Yeah.
Here in the I don't know what you call it, the booth, up here at the table at the top of the bleachers. So Cheyenne's going to roll with Brown, Tungseth up front. And then they got Mia Engel in there as well, along with Bogenreef and Vivian Height. She'll be up front, a middle hitter as well. And then Brooke Johnson there on the right side. Mia Engel's going to be the libero tonight for the Mustangs. And then they got Wasdorp as well. We'll see if the energy can get going here inside this gymnasium. This is a good matchup overall between these two powerful programs looking to start their journey to the state tournament, and that's going to be in Bismarck from November 18th to November 20th.
Sounds like already everybody's trying to create their own energy. They must sense it's a little bit quieter. So I like the energy already coming from the Mustang bench.
So Fargo North is going to serve first And here we go. The EDC quarterfinal is underway. There's a dig there by Johnson. That's going to go to Brown. And she's going to be that's going to be out of bounds, a little hard on that one. Fargo North's going to get the first point.
Great pass, though, to start out with. When you stick a pass right away like that out of the set, that means you're focused, you're mentally ready. It's exactly what we're going to want to see.
There's a pass over there to Johnson. Back to Wasdorp. That's tipped in front. And Wasdorp's going to get the kill. First point for the Mustangs. Wasdorp's also going to be the first server tonight for the Mustangs. That's a little to the right. There's a good pass. Over to the outside there to Grace Miller. That's dug up by Brooke Johnson. Pass over there to Brown. Great dig there by Grace Miller. Hit on the outside, tapped up front. Sheyenne tries to get it over. Great effort there by Mia Engel, but just kind of a tough spot there. The ball took a tough bounce off of the net. 2-1.
Great serving location there by Wasdorp. That deep corner is a tough ball to pass. Got Fargo North out of the system right away. Couldn't finish off on the rally, of course, but great serving placement.
Mia Engel will pass that over. That's going to be a hit by Bogan Reef. She'll get the kill for the Mustangs. 2-2.
Good communication so far on the Mustang side, too. Bogan Reef wasn't in position to hit that one line at all, but heard her teammates communicating to her, so she made it happen. That's all you need to do is listen, trust each other, play together, and the ball is going to fall where it may.
There's a hit on the outside. Great dig there by Wasdorp. And Vivian Hyde tried to tap that one over, but she hits that one to the net. 3-2. Here comes the serve. Wasdorp's going to pass that over. Here's a set by Johnson over to Brown. Great dig there by Skalicki. Miller hits that to the outside. Wasdorp sets one over to Bogan Reef. Bogan Reef with another hard hit to get the kill. 3-3. Coulter coming in along with Lexi Terhark.
We're moving the ball around really well offensively. We're passing well. Our setters are in system. They're able to set whoever they want, whoever is open. And our hitters are doing a nice job spraying the ball around and keep the defense guessing.
Great serve there by Kennedy Coulter. Great dig there by Wasdorp. She'll get that one over. Great effort by Mia Engel. Diving play. Terhark going to be a little strong on that. That's over to the left corner. Point for the Spartans.
Mustangs, I think, wanted a touch on that one, but I didn't see a touch off the block or anything like that. Just not quite enough follow through there to get it to drop in.
Betsy Schiltz to serve for the Spartans. Bogan Reef passes that over to Coulter. Back to Bogan Reef. That's over. Here's a hit to the outside. Wasdorp sets that. She'll get it back. Bogan Reef tapped it over, but North is going to get the point. I believe that was a net violation.
Yeah, double contact actually called on.
Double contact.
Yep. Just weren't quite there. Didn't release fast enough to get feet set.
That's why you're up here, Carrie, to correct me on some of those.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. You know the game more than I do. You know, volleyball, I competed in the muscle ball tournament. I got a few of my friends together, and, we formed a team. And it's a fun sport to play. It's a very rallying sport, a lot of momentum swings. And it's kind of huge how you have to minimize your errors.
Absolutely. It's a game of mistakes. It really is. Game of mistakes and momentum.
Yeah, our team, we split 2-2. We lost our first game. That was kind of a tough one. Took an unfortunate loss at the end there. So Fargo North leads 7-3 here. There's going to be a timeout taken. We'll be back shortly here from Sheyenne High School.
This place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
So we are back here from Sheyenne High School here inside the Sheyenne Gymnasium here. The Spartans off to an early lead once again here, 7-3 in the first set. What do you think Fargo North has done well so far?
I think they haven't quit. I mean, they're playing some great defense. They're getting touches on a lot of balls, being smart offensively. And right now they're kind of sending it back over to the Mustangs to try to make the error.
You know, it's kind of what we've seen all year. Let's see if the Mustangs can kind of climb their way back into this one. Engel's going to set that one over to Coulter. She'll pass that over to Wasdorp. Wasdorp will get it over. Here comes an attack by the Spartans. Blocked up front by Vivian Height and Reagan Bogenreef.
There's those momentum plays we talked about in the pregame, Jaxson, that our middle blockers, middle hitters bring. Awesome block at a crucial time for the Mustangs.
Bogenreef serving for the Mustangs. Here's a good pass. Schiltz will set that one up to the outside. Great kill there on the outside for the Spartans. I believe that was number 12, Emily Skalicki.
Looked like that one snuck just between our blockers there, and that's a tough one to defend for a right back or a middle back. If there's a hole in that block, it makes it super difficult.
That one's hit into the net, point Mustangs. Carlson came up short on that serve. Callie Tungseth coming back into the game. Height serving. Here's a pass to the outside. Blocked up front by Tungseth and Lexi Terhark.
Nice deep serve again from Height on that one. Keeps serving them deep. It takes them out of their offense, and it makes it that much more difficult on their hitters.
Here's a hit to the outside once again. Bogenreef. Tungseth will, that's going to be a net violation there up front. 9-6 Spartans. Riley Bartz to serve. Engel's going to pass that one over to Coulter. Bogenreef will get that one over. Dug up there by Bartz. Hit that one in the net. Emily Skalicki hits that one into the net. Just hit that one. Brooke Johnson coming in to serve. Chloe Brown back into the game as well. Great serve by Johnson, dug up by Bartz. Schiltz will set that one up to the outside to Skalicki, but that's going to be
another double contact.
Double contact. 9-8.
I think on the north side she just had a little bit too much time. Those high passes are really hard to set cleanly, so I think just too much time and doubled because of it.
Great pass there. That one's hit over. Great dig there by Johnson. Engel will hit that one back up to Brown. Tipped up front. Great effort there by North. What a play up front there. Wasdorp hard hit. North returns it. Brown sets that. Here's an attack by the Mustangs. Tungseth with a hard hit, but that North is, you know, those defensive specialists for the Spartans are able to react to those pretty well. Wasdorp's hit is blocked up front. That one's hit backwards. The Spartans looking to return it once again. They do. Bogen, great rally here. Wasdorp finally gets the kill.
What a rally. What a rally. Kudos to North for hanging in there. They had some scramble plays. They kept it alive, used that momentum going into the next one.
It is almost, it's hard to stay with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a really fast rally.
Absolutely.
There's another attack to the outside here. Wasdorp will pass that one over. That's set. Tungseth tried to tap that one over, but kind of didn't get the right position on it. 10-9. Mustangs have gotten their way back into this match, so they were down 7-3 coming out of that timeout. Now it is 10-9. They've scored 6 of the last 9 points in the match.
Yeah, they're just going to have to keep siding out really fast so that they maintain control and are able to play with their momentum that they're used to. So as long as they side out quick, don't allow any other strings, I think we'll see them come back fast.
Great kill there by Grace Miller there. Engel tried to pop that one back in the air, but she hit that one in the net. Just couldn't get it high enough. That serves just a bit long there by Skalicki. Wasdorf back to serve. It's 11-10.
Hopefully a good aggressive serve again. Nice deep serve from Wasdorf. Catch him out of system again. Great serve.
This one's just going to be pushed over, rolled over. Wasdorf sends that one over. Oh, great play there up front, but what a dig to keep that alive. Grace Miller, hard hit. Johnson pops that one back up in the air. Brown passes it over to Engel. Engel gets that one over. Skalicki sets. Blocked up front by Tug Seth and Chloe Brown.
Awesome job on the Mustang side. They're sticking with it, continuing to work hard. I'd like to see them clean up just a little bit on the free ball side so they're in system a little bit faster, but they're sticking with it and they're battling.
Skalicki passes that over to Miller, but that's going to be a point for the Mustangs. (12-11). That's served by Wasdorf just a bit long.
Nice aggressive serves, though. Those serves, serving deep, getting a passer high up in their chest, that's really hard to pass. It's even more difficult to pass a decent pass, passing close to the net. So nice job. I like the aggression there. Hopefully we just side out right away so the momentum doesn't swing back.
The Spartans get the kill there. Bogenreef tried to pass that, but she accidentally set that one over the net, and North was able to capitalize there up front. Their middle hitters getting the kill there, 13-12. Bogenreef sets that one over to Johnson. Brown with the hit. She'll get that one back into play. Sent over by Tungseth. Bartz passes it over to Miller. Miller will tap that one over. Great set there. Tungseth hits that one. Clips the net, but gets the kill anyways.
Hitting at that right back, we're going to take their setter out of the offense too a little bit. Then teams have to scramble. So we went at that right back, what, 2-3 times that rally, Jaxson?
13-13, Engel to serve. Skalicki sets that one to Miller. But that one's sent just a bit long. Aggressive hit, though, there by Grace Miller there for the Spartans.
Yeah, I think she was looking to hit the block on that one and missed just a bit.
Skalicki rushes out over to that one to get it, but miss hit there by Carlson into the net. 15-13, Mustangs building a 2-point lead now. We'll see if they can extend that. Miller passes over to Skalicki, back to Miller. She'll get the kill up front there. Oh, actually, it's going to be a point for the Mustangs.
Yeah, the ref is calling that one a lift. I think it sat in her hand for just a little bit too long. You can't throw it like that. So when it comes to a stop,
right,
and then it changes directions, you're gonna get that one called.
Timeout is taken. Mustangs going on a little rally here. They lead set one, 16-13. We'll be back shortly. We are back here inside the Sheyenne Gymnasium here. The Mustangs have a lead now, 16-13, after being down 7-3 after that first timeout was taken. So the Mustangs on a 13-6 run here after that first timeout. They've kind of woken up finally here in the first set against the Spartans.
Definitely. They're going to want to focus on this point, though. Now's not the time to sit back and get comfortable. This point's going to be big to hold on to the momentum. Hopefully we've got a big serve coming here out of Engel right away and then going to work on defense.
Engel hits that one into the net. And yeah, as you say, Carrie, there is no room to, you know, sit back and get comfortable in volleyball because the tables can turn on you real quick.
Absolutely. When you're playing point for point versus a timed game, every point matters, and you don't get to sit back and wait for the time to run out, I guess.
Bogenreef's hits blocked. Great hustle there by, I believe that was
Johnson,
Brooke Johnson. Tried to run after that one. That ball was kind of knocked backwards. Wasdorp should have let that one go. Bogenreef's, her hit is tipped backwards. 17-15. Coulter back to serve. Here comes the Coulter serve. That's dug up there. Scalachy will set Grace Miller there on the outside. She'll get it back over, but that's out to the right. 18-15.
Now, if I were the Mustangs, too, right now, and if I were Coach Newton, I'd start thinking about the North offense, mixing things up. They've been bringing the heat and swinging really hard and aggressive, but we've done a nice job containing that.
There's an ace there by Kennedy Coulter, her first ace of the night.
We've done a nice job blocking, and as a hitter, you need to start hitting around it or mixing up your shots just to get the ball over and in.
Coulter to serve again. Scalachy. That's over to the outside. Great dig there. And that's over the net. Vivian Hyde barely gets it over, but North is going to get the point. Wow.
What a hustle. What a hustle. Her hands just snuck under the net, but it was a great save.
Just
Style
under the
points.
net. Wasdorf with a great dig there, and then I don't know how Vivian Hyde got that one over. That ball just snuck over.
It did.
Wasdorf's going to push that one over. Blocked up front there by Bogenreef.
Back row attack there, and North, the setter, was a little bit late releasing to the net, so all she could do is jump and push it over, but you can't jump when you're in the back row and send it over.
Bogenreef serving now. Great dig there, but that's out of bounds. Missed hit there. Couldn't really get proper positioning.
Oh, she has such a nice top spin serve that when she's serving, it's like she's attacking from the baseline. So you have to pass very differently when she's serving than you do a float serve.
That ball is just coming off her hand at a high speed.
Absolutely. Becomes more of a defensive dig than a serve receive.
And that's what I mean. These outside hitters and these servers, they can hit the ball. As we see another point there by the Mustangs up front there, a block. You know, the ball just comes off smoking off their hands.
Absolutely, yeah. North isn't backing down by any means. They're continuing to swing. I would anticipate here in the timeout a discussion being had about mixing things up a little bit, so we'll see what they bring the last few points of the set.
North takes a timeout. The Mustangs lead 22-16 and are 3 points away from taking the first set. We'll be back shortly. We are back here after that timeout. Mustangs lead 22-16 for those just tuning in. Bogenreef to serve. There's an ace by Reagan Bogenreef. Big point there. 23-16. Mustangs on a 20-9 run after trailing 7-3 early in the first set. That's out. Great recognition there on the side there by Wasdorf and Engel to let that one go. 24-16. We'll see if Bougainville can close out this first set here. Schultz will set that one up for Carlson. Engel passes it over to, there's a great kill there, I believe by Lexi Terhart. Great pass there by Mia over to Terhart, and Terhart closes out the first set. Mustangs lead 1-0. What do you think I think the Mustangs kind of got it together after coming out flat, and they realized, hey, it's the postseason. We can't be doing this, any longer here as we get deeper into the postseason and into the state tournament. Great poise there by the Mustangs.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the team that we were missing when we called together last time, Jaxson. They're all playing together so well. They're listening to each other. They're taking what the defense is giving them, listening to their team members when things are open, who's taking what defensively. Talking up at the net, blocking-wise, it puts up a big, solid block. We've seen a few stuffed blocks already. North was making some adjustments there at the end. I'm sure they're going to make some here, too, in between these two sets. They'll have to adjust faster, though, or I think you're going to see the momentum right away start out with the Mustangs. It looks like they're in a great mood. They're celebrating a little bit, so we'll see how they come out here this next set.
Now, what do you think the Spartans head coach, Rachel Hummel, is saying to her girls? They kind of got off to a hot start, and then they kind of cooled off and let the Mustangs get back into that first set.
Yeah, you can't ask yourself to do too much, to continue to swing harder and harder and harder when there's a solid block like that. That's when you need to think smarter rather than harder. You got to hit around the block. You got to mix your shots up, make faster adjustments on serve receive versus having the Mustangs go on a 2 or 3 point run. Or at the end there, I think it was 5-point run. We got to make faster adjustments, communicate with each other, and all play together as a team.
We do want to remind you guys what's going on in the other conference, the WDA, the Western Dakota Association. Bismarck Century is taking on Dickinson High. Bismarck St. Mary's is taking on Bismarck Legacy. Bismarck High taking on Watford City, and then Jamestown taking on Mandan in the bottom side of the bracket there. The semifinal games and the conference championship, along with the consolation semifinal and the state qualifier games, will be held at the Rough Rider Center in Watford City. All eyes on Bismarck Century there. They've been to the state championship every year since 2011. They've only lost a couple games in the last couple of years. Just a great program. They've had many great players. They had Lauren Ware in that 4-year stretch. She's playing volleyball and basketball down in Arizona for the Wildcats.
Yeah, she's definitely an athlete in that program. They just know how to win. Yeah. They just know how to win.
And, Bismarck High, though, they've given Bismarck Century a couple losses, though, and they're kind of a team that's right behind Century.
Absolutely, and I think they're hungry. They're hungry for it. I think Century is going to have to watch out for them on the west side. And then state, it's anybody's ball game for sure. Century
has won the 5 titles in the past 6 years. They won last year as well. The only year they lost in that 6-year stretch was 2 years ago to Fargo Davies. As we get the second set underway here. And that's an ace to start off the second set there for Brooke Johnson.
She's got a different serve than we saw Bougainville close out the last set. Hers floats and it drops really well, which again makes it difficult to pass. It's just very different than what they just looked at.
Passing for me, in my opinion, is probably one of the hardest parts of volleyball. And I will admit, I'm pretty good at everything else in volleyball if considering if you're playing for fun, but passing's probably the only thing I got to work on. A lot of my friends are better at it than I am, so, but it's a fun game to play.
Absolutely, and passing is such a important part of the game. If you can't pass, it makes it difficult to do everything else, which makes it mental just as much as it is physical, too.
It looks simple, too, but it's actually kind of a lot of technique. You got to, you can't swing your arms all over the place, or else the ball's just, could have come off your knuckles wrong, or it's going to fly all over the place.
Absolutely. Don't want to pass with your knuckles, that's for sure.
Great hit there by Tungsteth. That's tipped up front. Another attack set up by the Spartans to the outside. Wasdorp will pass that over to Johnson. Johnson back over to Wasdorp. That's over. Grace Miller hits that one. Bogenreef couldn't catch up to that. Tried to set it into the air. And it looks like her hands kind of slipped off of the top of the ball there and pushed it down to the ground. 2-2. Bogenreef will get that attack started. The Mustangs get it over. Tungsteth pushes it back over. Ball is kind of flying all over the place right now. Tipped up front there by Tungsteth. Bogenreef passes it over to Wasdorp, or sets that, excuse me. Another great rally here. Engel passes it over to Wasdorp. Tipped up front. Skalicki sets. She'll push it over, actually. Fools Mia Engel and Brooke Johnson. They kind of, Mustangs weren't expecting that. North has done that a couple times here where they fake kind of, looks like they're going to set for a hit on the outside, and then they just kind of push it over. Yeah, they dump it.
Yeah, it catches the defense off guard. That's a perfect play to do in the middle of a long rally like that. It causes confusion, communication errors, and that's exactly what we just saw.
That was a smart play there by Skalicki last time out. Skalicki's going to set that one that time. Great dig there by Engel. Wasdorp taps it over. Point Mustangs.
North is doing what we just talked about too, Jaxson. They're mixing things up. They're not just bringing the heat and hitting right into our blockers anymore. They're mixing things up. So Mustangs so far have been able to pick them up. They're going to have to keep communicating, though, and keep grinding.
Bartz passes it over to Skalicki. Great dig there by Wasdorp. Hard hit there on the outside from the Spartans. Engel sets it up to Wasdorp. That's over. Wasdorp pops that one into the ceiling. Bogenreef sets it over to Engel. Engel will push that one over. Skalicki sets to Miller. Great dig there by Engel in the middle. Wasdorp gets it over. Skalicki sets again. Miss hit there. Megan Dirk hit that one into the net.
What a defensive point. Mustangs getting their hands on everything, and not just getting their hands on there, but controlling the ball. Nice big blocks up at the net. Great defensive rally there.
Wasdorp hits her serve, kind of shakes it to the right there a little bit. Came off her hand, Ron. 4-4. Megan Dirk to serve for the Spartans. That's going to be a hit by Brown. She'll get it over. Spartans look to return it. Blocked up front there, but it's tipped away by Tungsteth to Brown. Spartans going to get the point.
She was there, too. Just had to push over a little bit more, and that ball would have dropped on the other side of the net, though.
That's going to be out. Great recognition there by Mia Engel to let that one go. It's just a tad bit long. Vivian Height comes back into the game. Engel to serve. 5-5 here in set 2. Tedford passes that over to Skalicki. That's going to get hit over. Wasdorp passes over to Johnson. That's set over to Height. Great hustle there by Tedford. But that's going to be a point for the Mustangs. Couldn't catch up to that.
Yeah, a bit of a timing issue on the Mustang side. I think Vivian would have preferred to hit that one instead of pass it, but great spot when she had to. And
Engel serve long, 6-6. Grace Miller's going to come out. Betsy Schiltz coming back in to serve. Wasdorp passes it over to Johnson. Back to Wasdorp. That's hit backwards there by Tedford and Bartz. Wasdorp gets the kill. Terhark and Coulter coming back in. Here comes Coulter's serve. That's dug up there. Great hit on the outside angle. Over to Coulter. Over to Wasdorp. That's tipped. Wasdorp gets another point for the Mustangs.
She's been doing such a nice job controlling those out-of-system balls. As a back row player, you can definitely be an offensive threat like that, but when you're out of system, her angle's not quite right, the set's not perfect, but she's doing a nice job controlling and putting the ball in good spots.
Miss hit there by Coulter into the net. Carlson back to serve for the Spartans. That serve is long by Carlson. 9-7 Mustangs. Bogenreef back to serve. Evie Burr coming in for the Spartans. Schills sets that to the outside. Engel gives it to Gerhardt. Great dig there by Berg. That's tapped over by Holm. Vivian Height taps it over. That's set. Great block there by Vivian Height, but that's out of bounds into the Spartans bench. Oh, great. After Engel miss hit that one. Great dig there by Coulter. Great block up front there by Wasdorp and Vivian Height. Callie Tung-Seth coming back in. Vivian Height back to serve. Berg pops that into the air over to Schiltz on the outside there. Great hustle there by Height. Just mishit that one. Mustangs couldn't really do much about that one.
Yeah, great dig by Height. I think Coulter just hung out a little bit long in the back row there. Not sure who was going to pass that one, and then late to get to the net. But nice up by Height.
Johnson digs. Terhark hits it over. Bart sets it up for Grace Miller, and Grace Miller is going to get the kill. On the right side there for Grace Miller, 10-10. Skalicki to serve for the Spartans. That's a dig there by Wasdorp, set by Coulter. Terhark just a bit long on that one. 11-10 Spartans.
Mustangs are going to want to stop this one right here before the momentum shifts too much. That's 2 points in a row. Looking for a perfect pass here so that Coulter's got all three options offensively.
Great set there by Coulter. Tung-Seth mishit that to the left. 12-10. Spartans getting a little rally here going. A few point stretch here for the Spartans. I believe that's 3 points in a row now. Bogenreef over to Coulter, sets that up for Wasdorp. Point Mustangs.
Great use by Wasdorf when the set gets so tight on the net like that. Sometimes you don't have another choice except for to go straight into the block. And as a hitter, if you're skilled enough and accurate enough, you can wipe it off of their hands just like she did to get the point there.
Brown and Brooke Johnson back in. Johnson to serve. Skalicki will set that one up in the middle there. Bartz passes it back to Skalicki. That's hit over. Great set there by Johnson. Bogenreef comes up to hit that one over. Here's another attack by the Spartans. Engel, great pass to Johnson. Wasdorp, her hit is blocked. Great effort there by Bogenreef. Tried to get it over with her left arm. Just a bit left there. Couldn't really get it back over to the cross court. 13-11.
Mustangs are getting some great touches. They're playing really scrappy. We just need to clean things up a little bit more so that we're in system more offensively. Fine-tuning those passes, fine-tuning those digs.
Bogenreef over to Johnson. Bogenreef's going to hit that over. Great dig there by Tedford. Pushed over there on the outside. Hard hit by Kaylee Wasdorf for the kill. 13-12. Wasdorf back to serve, who just got the kill on that last point. That's out, too strong. Emma Thomason coming in for the Spartans. That's hit into the net.
I think she was looking to get that serve right back over to Wasdorf.
Yeah.
Sometimes when your server misses, you know, mentally they're not quite there. It's a good time to serve at them and see if they can handle the pass then mentally. We would have been ready.
Megan Dirkmas hit that one to the net. She's going to come out for the Spartans. Quick breather. Skalke sets that to Grace Miller. Great dig there by Wasdorf. Hard hit. Engel pops it back into the air. Bogenreef gets it over. Bartz passes over to Skalke. Set to the outside there for Carlson. Dug up by Wasdorf. Point Spartans. Betsy Schiltz coming in for Grace Miller. 15-13. Here in set 2, Mustangs took the first one. Ooh, kind of a tricky set. Height couldn't really do much about that one.
Yeah, great pass there. I think just a missed set. It was there, too. You could see Johnson was a little frustrated in that one. It was there. I think Vivian would have been able to get a nice swing on it, but just a little bit of a miss.
Timeout is taken. We're going to take a short break here. Spartans lead set 2, 16-13. We are back here inside the Sheyenne Gymnasium here. The Spartans lead 16-13 here in set 2. Schiltz about to serve.
This is a big point here for the Spartans. If they can get this, they'll keep the momentum. If not, it's after a timeout, it's almost like both teams start fresh. So Mustangs would have a swing at it too.
Wasdorf tried to pass that one over to either Brown or Johnson there to the right, but hit that one out of bounds. 17-13, that was an ace there by Schiltz. Bogenreef over to Johnson, back to Bogenreef. She'll get it over, dug up there by Bartz. Couldn't do much about that one.
Well, those ones are tough as a setter when you're coming from defense and you have to get all the way to the net. Like we talked about before, you can't jump and send it over. But if you're late, you can't do much but wait down at the bottom of the net and hope you get it.
Coulter to serve. That one's hit back and forth there. The Spartans are able to get it over. That one's set up for Bogenreef. The Spartans keep it alive. But it's going to be a point for the Mustangs.
Called a double hit.
Double hit
on
again.
The Spartans, yep.
You know, the ball ricocheted out of the net, and they did get it over, but unfortunately that double hit did cost them a point. Here's a set to the outside. Wasdorf gets the dig. Bogenreef sets for Terharg. That one's tapped up front. Great dig there. Bogenreef Over to Coulter, set up for height. Great dig there by Riley Bartz. Skalicki hits it over. Bogenreef, too strong.
She was looking for the hands, I think, off of that block. She knew line was open, but she was going to have to hit high and just missed the block, and so it sailed too far out of bounds.
Evie Berg serving for the Spartans. 18-15, Spartans lead still. Wasdorf, great dig, set up. Point Spartans.
Double contact again called. They're calling it a bit tighter than what we've seen so far this season. Not that I disagree with them, but a little tighter than what we've seen.
Yeah, not a lot of those double hits have been called in the games. You know, we've called up here in the bleachers. Bogenreef serving. Too strong. Another serving error.
I think her toss got away from her a little bit on that one, so she caught it behind her and just didn't have enough room to let it drop.
You know, it seems like all year the Mustangs really, it's been the little things, just kind of the little errors that have kind of cost them. They haven't been doing any big things wrong. It's just really the tiny little things that have kind of cost them a few points.
Definitely, like we talked about, it's a game of mistakes, and if you make too many tiny little ones, it's going to add up, and it's going to add up quickly. And I think that's really all you're seeing is the difference here tonight. And even though it's 4 points, just tiny little things that the Mustangs need to fine-tune before they're running on all cylinders.
And that's important because it only gets tougher from here on out as we see another kill there by the Mustangs. It gets tougher as you get deeper into the postseason when you know get into the late rounds of the EDC tournament and state tournament. And that's for any sport. The teams, you know, they have a higher like spirit or, you know, drive to win those last important games in the final rounds.
Definitely, you see everybody dig a little bit deeper. You see them work a little bit harder, and you're able to see what actually everybody's
rounds of the EDC tournament and state tournament. And that's for any sport.
Regular season, but during playoffs, it's anybody's game, and anybody could be playing their top volleyball game at any time.
In the playoffs, you know, the better team doesn't always win. You know, you see that in sports like football, basketball, volleyball as well. You know, especially basketball. As a player myself who, you know, has seen a lot of, you know, basketball tournaments, you know, you look on March Madness about how much upsets there are every year. Right. You know, these 12 seeds beating the number 5 seeds. It's sometimes the better team doesn't always win. It's whoever plays better, plays like the better team.
Yeah, in our house we talk a lot about staying humble and hungry. You got to be humble, respect every single one of your opponents, even more so in postseason, and stay hungry. You got to be able to work harder and willing to work harder than the other team. Otherwise, they're going to take it from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great block there up front by Wasdorf and Tungseth. 21-19. The Mustangs keep it close.
Otherwise, they're going to take it
Johnson
from
back in. Absolutely. Along with Chloe Brown. Johnson's back to serve. Bartz passes over to Skalicki, set up on the outside there for, that's going to be a kill for, I believe, number 2, Grace Holm. They're on the outside. Carlson back in for the Spartans.
Now Mustangs are going to want to side out really quick. There's not a lot of game left to try to shift the momentum and start having things go your way. So quick side out is going to be key right now, and then getting the momentum back on their side.
Tungseth gets the kill. 22-20. We'll see if this, you know, as you say, Carrie, a lot of game time left. We'll see if we can go to 5 sets tonight. I'm hoping we will, because this is the EDC quarterfinal round. We love playoff volleyball, especially between these two great programs of Fargo North and West Fargo Cheyenne. Great dig there by Mia Engel. Bogenreef gets it over, tapped up front. Miller taps it up to save it for the Spartans. That's sent over. Tungseth, another kill. Callie Tungseth with a few great kills there at middle hitter. 22-21.
great execution on the Mustang side. Talk about fine-tuning. We had perfect pass, perfect set there, great execution. That's what we're going to need.
Wasdorp to serve. Skalicki passes over to Carlson. Blocked up front. Tie game, 22-22. That's going to be a timeout taken there by Coach Rachel Hummel. The Mustangs claw their way back here in the second set. It is tied 22-22. We're going to take a short break. We are back here inside the Sheyenne Gymnasium here. We do want to remind you guys, take a few seconds to recognize one of our sponsors here. Bellbank Mortgage is proud to support the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. Rates are great, so if you're considering moving up or maybe even becoming a homeowner for the first time, talk to the experts at Bell. We'll make your home happen. Bellbank Mortgage, equal housing lender. Go Mustangs. Mustangs tie it up here coming out of the timeout, 22 apiece. Bartz over to Skalicki. Grace Miller. Great dig there by Wasdorp. Bogenreef taps it over. That's pushed up by Skalicki. Bartz over to Carlson. Blocked up front. Great dig there by Grace Miller. That's pushed over. Engel over to Johnson. Tungseth taps it over. Skalicki pushes it over. And then Tungseth right back at it. Blocked up front. Point Spartans. Or excuse me. It's going to be the Mustangs. The ref initially pointed over to the Spartans, but it's going to be a point for the Mustangs. Now it's 23-22. They were down 22-19, so it's 4 straight points there. Tungseth with a couple kills in that stretch, and then the blocks up front. Set up for Carlson on the outside. Blocked by Tungseth and Brown, 24-22.
Huge block up there. Awesome. Awesome block. Closed, both pressed over the net. Beautiful.
It was just 22-19 just 3 minutes ago. The Mustangs now 1 point away from taking set 2 as well. We'll see if they can finish it off. Grace Miller there, that's blocked. Johnson over to Wasdorp, over to Engel. Engel gets that one over. Bartz over to Skalicki. Carlson, point. Spartans, great kill there by Reagan Carlson. That's huge, 24-23. If the Spartans tie it up here, it is win by 2. It's going to be a short timeout here taken by Leah Newton. Mustangs lead 24-23. We'll be back shortly.
In this place, we see potential like nowhere else. Here, vision is boundless. That's why we never settle. We look for the moments when everything becomes possible. The moments that inspire us to make every day better. In this place, there's no such thing as good. There's only great. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Coming back here out of the break, 24-23 here in set 2. North looking to keep it alive here. If they score a point, it's going to be 24 all, and then it will be win by 2 from there. Mustangs still trying to close it out here. Engel passes it over to Johnson. Bogenreef blocked. Wasdorp reacts to it. Popped up front there by Brown. Bogenreef. Great dig there by Skalicki. Tedford gets it over to Dirk. Back to Engel. Set there. Brown to Miller, pops it up. Tedford gets it over. Engel passes, set. Tungseth puts it away! Another kill there by Callie Tungseth. That was like her 4th kill in the last 6 points there for the Mustangs. And the Mustangs lead 2-0 now. 2-0 here in this big EDC quarterfinal match. You know, something that we did not see last time. North was up 2-1 after 3, and all of a sudden this time around the Mustangs are up 2, and they're looking to get a sweep here in this next set here. So, Carrie, what is your analysis on the final stretch there coming down the wire here in the second set? North was up 22-19.
Yeah, kudos to the Mustangs for really buckling down, staying focused, fine-tuning. Those passes were money passes every time they were getting free balls. That was really the difference in those last 5, even 10 points than what we've seen even in the first 2 sets so far. That's exactly what they're going to need. Now they're playing together as a team. Hopefully they can keep the same momentum coming out right away. Great timeout by Coach Newton there down the stretch, doing what she can to prevent the momentum switch too. She knows what her team needs, and yeah, they're going to have to come out strong. I don't think North is done yet by any means.
North is not done. You know, you can never quit in this sport. You know, there's still, the Mustangs still have to win another set, so we'll see if the Spartans can kind of climb their way back in this one here in set 3 and hopefully try to force a 5th set in the next set if it goes to set 4. But the Mustangs lead 2-0. We do want to remind you guys some of the events going on up at the Fargo Dome. It's the Dakota Bowl. I believe it's the 29th annual Dakota Bowl. You know, starting off in the morning at 9:10 a.m. for the, I believe it's the 9-man B. It's going to be the number 1 seed Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, and the Cavalier High School, who are the number 3 seed. And then for 11-man Class B, it's going to be number 1 Hillsborough, I believe, taking on number 2 Kindred. So a lot of top 2 teams we're seeing here in the Dakota Bowl. Yes, number 1 Hillsborough taking on number 2 Kindred. And then for the single A division, as you see, there was a format change for football this year. It's going to be Bismarck St. Mary's, the 1 seed, taking on number 2 Jamestown. And then the finale late in the evening. Carrie, your husband, Josh, he's the defensive coordinator of that talented football team we've seen from the Mustangs this year. 5 shutouts. You know, your husband's done a great job there as defensive coordinator, kind of helping out the defense a lot. It's shown as the Mustangs have given up only around 7 points a game this year. The Mustangs are taking on their crosstown rival, the West Fargo Packers. Football, I believe, is the first sport we've seen the West Fargo Packers and the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs face off against each other in the state championship. So we'll see how that's going to turn out. It's going to be packed. I'm excited to go to that game on Friday.
Absolutely, absolutely. How fun to have 2 really hometown teams when you're talking it's at the Fargo Dome. I'm sure there's going to be big crowds on both sides. And the Mustangs this year are just led by a great group of senior guys, and they know how to work. They know how to win. They lean on each other, and that makes coaching even that much easier. I think Coach Newton and Josh would agree to say that too. It's really all the boys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, West Fargo, though, you can't count them out because they've been playing great football as well. They're 9-2, and, you know, ever since the Mustangs beat them in the second week of the season, they've been a different team. You know, they got Parker Nelson there coming out of the backfield. He had 22 touchdowns at the end of the regular season alone. So the 3rd set here is underway. Bogan Reeves going to get that over. Great pass there by Bart Skalicki over to Thomason. But that's blocked. Or excuse me. Spartans actually get the kill, or the point.
I think they caught us in the net there. I don't know that we felt we were in the net, but they saw something. Great swing by Wasdorp there to finish that rally out. Great spot. It seemed like the blockers couldn't quite get close, so she had a lot of room to work with there in the back row.
1-1 now here in the 3rd set. Wasdorp to serve. Skalicki sets up Dirk there in the middle. Dirk's going to get the point for the Spartans. Reagan Carlson coming in along with Taylor Tedford. Tedford back to serve. Bogan Reef passes it over to Johnson. Back to Bogan Reef. Great dig there by Tedford. Over to Skalicki. Hard hit there by Carlson. Great effort there by Wasdorp, but that one got away from her. 3-1 So the Spartans off to a strong start here in a win-or-die set.
Now they've been starting strong every set so far. The Mustangs really need to buckle down early, fine-tune their game early if they're going to want to take a win here.
Hard hit there by Tungseth. That's ricocheted off of Bart's backwards. Bart's couldn't catch up to Tungseth. Hard hit there and hits it backwards into the back wall. 3-2 now Mustangs. Engel to serve. Bartz passes it over to Scalicky. That's set up for I believe that's Carlson. Reagan Carlson in the middle there. She'll get the point for the Spartans. Another kill there by Carlson.
Those high 2 balls in the middle are really tough to block. You've got to time things. When usually as a middle blocker, you're able to just go with your instinct. On those, you got to time it a little bit better, so they're very difficult to block.
Brown, her hit is tipped up front. Scalicky over to Grace Miller. Engel catches up to that. Bogenreef gets the kill. Tedford hits it backwards. 4-3. As we said earlier, the winner is going to take on, the winner of this game is going to take on the winner of West Fargo High and Valley City. And then on the top side of the bracket, it's Shanley at the 1 seed taking on Grand Forks Red River tonight at Shanley. And then Fargo Davies taking on Fargo South. You know, and Fargo Davies and Fargo South both got sweeps on the Mustangs late in the season there. You know, it's kind of I wonder, you know, how the Mustangs responded and kind of looked back on those games.
Yeah, I think the EDC right now, everybody's playing really well. Everybody's kind of had their fair shake at beating each other throughout. It'll be interesting to see how the tournament this weekend shakes out and who ends up on top and who takes those top 4 spots to go to state.
And you know, Kindred, who was the 3rd-ranked team coming out of Region 1 for Class B, they had 4 close sets against the Mustangs. They were all within 2 or 3 points. So we'll see if the Mustangs, you know, it shows tonight that they've kind of cleaned it up a little bit going into the postseason as they're up 2 sets to 0 here. But Fargo North leads the 3rd set 5-4. Bogenreef to serve. Great pass there by Tedford over to Scalicky on the outside, but that's a point for the Mustangs. That's just a bit left. 5-5.
I couldn't tell that one was outside the antenna. I was wondering why we were slow to move, but I
Over
get it now. It was outside.
Bogenreef hits that one into the net. 6-5. Spartans. Evie Berg and Thomason, I believe, coming back into the game. Engel pops into the air. Bogenreef gets it back into play. Engel will get it over. Thompson sets it to Schiltz, and then that's a hit there by Holm. Wasdorp, her hit's blocked. Here's a set there over to Lexi Terhart. She'll get the kill.
Great choice by Coulter on that one when a lot of stuff is happening all in one area of the court like it was here on the outside, to send it against the grain and send it to the one person who's standing over there. Makes the other side scramble, and Terhart was able to take advantage.
6-6, height to serve. There's a set there to the outside to Scalicky. That's into the net. 7-6. Comes another height serve. Schiltz sets it over to Scalicky there in the middle. She'll get the kill for the Spartans. Megan Durr coming in for the Spartans. Riley Bartz back to serve. Engel passes it over to Coulter. She sets that for Terhark. Great dig there by the Spartans. To the outside. Great kill there. Or excuse me, that's going to be a point for the Mustangs.
I love the focus and communication right now on the Mustang side. Even there in service receive, they maintained their composure. They talked about where it was going. Engel even said, watch the serve coming here, as she pointed at herself. That's great communication. Then there's no surprises. Everybody's ready and everybody's focused.
Another point there for the Mustangs. That's an ace there by Brooke Johnson. We've seen a lot of good rallies when she's serving. 9-7 here in the third set. Schill sets it up for Scalicky there. That's blocked. 10-7.
Blocking has been huge this match.
Yeah.
I don't know how many stuffed blocks that we have so far, but it seems like we've gotten quite a few. That's all discipline, waiting, jumping high, reaching over. That's discipline all the way.
We saw a lot of those from Tungset there down the stretch there in set 2.
Absolutely. She's working hard. She's working hard up there.
Chloe Brown gets the kill for the Mustangs. It's going to be a timeout taken by Rachel Hummel. Mustangs lead the third set, trying to close it out in this set. Mustangs lead 11-7. We're going to take a short break.
This place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
We are back here after that timeout taken by the Spartans. Mustangs lead 11-7. We'll see if the Mustangs can extend their lead here.
Yeah, they need to stay focused. Definitely after any timeout, the momentum could swing either way. So this point is big. Call them star serves, big star points.
Great dig there by Berg. Spartans get it over. That's set up for Wasdorp on the outside. Great dig there by Bartz. Schultz sets it up. Scalicky will get it over. Wasdorp, another hit. Gets the point.
Nice spot by Wasdorp. She's had a lot of success swinging hard, swinging cross, and really just taking what the blockers give her, and then to mix it up like that keeps the defense guessing. And they're caught back on their heels waiting for the hard hit.
12-7. Tapped up front there. Back and forth. Brown pops into the air. Engel's able to get it over. Bartz sets up to Schultz. To the outside. Too strong there. On the outside. 13-7. Brooke Johnson getting a nice rally under her serves. Another point. That's out for the Mustangs. 14-7.
Boy, that's 3 on that outside antenna that are sneaking past the antenna. I can't tell if the set's just getting pushed too far out, if they're not transitioning far enough out, or what's happening over there. But that's 3 times this set already.
Grace Holm tried to put that in a tough spot, but it was just to the left of the line. Engel. Oh! Brooke Johnson served over, or excuse me, tripped over Mia Engel. Engel tried to pop that one in the air. 14-8.
I don't think she was quite ready to hurdle over England to get the ball there.
Nothing you can really do there.
No, nope.
Tungsteth over to Johnson. Johnson gets it over to Bartz. Over to Scalicky. To the outside. Johnson to Engel. To Wasdorp. Hard hit there. Bartz reacts to it well. Miss hit. Back into the corner past the Fargo North student section. 15-8.
Another great spot there by Wasdorp, pushing him deep. That back corner is tough to defend. She caught him up way high, and then it's tough to control the ball too defensively, and that's what you saw. Just couldn't control it.
Skalicki passes it back over to Bartz. Bartz hits it in the net. Miss hit that. Not a mistake you'd like to see. Kind of an easy one that was miss hit. Bartz to Skalicki. Oh, great effort there by Wasdorp. That one just ricocheted off the ceiling.
I don't think Bogenreef was quite expecting that to come back her way. It looked like it was going to come this way quite a ways first.
That was a hard hit there on the outside there by Skalicki.
Yeah, Wasdorp's been doing a nice job getting a lot of touches on those. They're kind of ricocheting off of her really quick. So just need to absorb a little bit more, and then we're going to be able to use even those digs that she's been getting up so far.
Nice kill there by Chloe Brown, 17-9. Skalicki over to Grace Miller. That one's deflected up front. Great hustle there by Engel. Wasdorp gets it over. She's been busy tonight. Vivian Hyde and Brown almost there for the block, but just sneaks past them. 17-10.
You could tell Height wanted that one too. I think it hit both of her hands. Just didn't quite press over far enough, so it drained her, came right down in front of her. The Mustangs are playing with a lot of confidence right now. They're really poised. They're using their momentum, using their confidence. North is really going to have to rally here, and they're going to have to settle in and start grinding if they're going to want to sneak out this third set.
It's been a pretty clean game here from the Mustangs. Probably one of the cleanest games in a while. You know, North hasn't had the same performance as they did last time against the Mustangs. So we'll see if the Spartans can spark some momentum here as they trail by 8 here in the third set. Hard hit there by Bogenreef. To the outside of Carlson. Wasdorp over to Coulter. To Terhark. She'll get the kill. Mustangs 6 points away from sweeping the Spartans here in the EDC quarterfinal and advancing to the semifinal round. Timeout taken by Hummel of the Fargo North Spartans. We're going to take a short break here. Mustangs lead 19-10. We're back here inside the Sheyenne Gymnasium here. Do want to remind you guys that the second round games in the state qualifier and EDC championship games are taking place up in Grand Forks at Grand Forks Red River High School on Friday and Saturday. As we get going here, once again, Bogenreef gets it over. Skalicki sets up Grace Miller there. Engel to Coulter. Coulter gets back into play. Wasdorp gets it over. Great play there by the Spartans. Mustangs look to return it. Bogenreef. We'll see. Yes, it was on the line. Perfect spot there by Bogenreef. 20-10.
Great choice there. She didn't put a lot of pace on that ball, just looked for the spot. She was out of system, couldn't really see what the defense was giving her, so great choice there by Bogenreef. Great point by the Mustangs. Now hopefully they can use this momentum and carry them through the next 5 points here.
Coulter to serve here. Bogenreef sets it over to Coulter. Back to Bogenreef. Another point for the Mustangs. Bogenreef just sneaks that one over. 21-10.
From the Mustang side, too, I'd be ready for the Spartans to mix things up again, just like they did at the end of the first set. Some off speeds instead of coming like that with all the good aggressive hits. Yeah.
Great block up front there by, I believe that was Vivian Hyde and Lexi Terhark. 22-10, Mustangs 3 points away. That one's just a bit strong there, 23-10.
For the Mustangs here, just need to stay focused, need to keep working defensively and hold on to the ball.
Spartans looking to stay alive. Another hard hit there on the outside, another error, 24-10. Mustangs 1 point away from sweeping the Spartans. Here we go, Coulter looking to close it out. One last chance here for the Spartans. Wasdorp to Coulter, sets one up for Terhark. It's going to be a point for the Mustangs. That's out, and the Mustangs take set 3, 25-10, and they sweep the Fargo North Spartans here in the EDC quarterfinal round and advance to the semifinal round. The Mustangs came out a little bit flat there in the first set. They were down 7-3, but they found their momentum in set 1, and they never stopped from there.
Yeah, definitely, and great match overall for Fargo North. They really came out swinging. They came out with great defensive plays. They didn't stop working those first 2 sets. This third set, the Mustangs really just had all the confidence, all of the momentum, and they were too tough to stop. We talked about that when they play all together as a unit of 6. They're going to be so tough to beat, so tough to beat. Kudos to the Mustangs, too, for fine-tuning some of those smaller things that weren't quite going their way in the first 2 sets, from free balls, serve-receive passes, serving at the end there. Great match overall. Quit 1-3, but it was a great match.
You know, Fargo North, it's still not over for them, but they have to win their 2 next matches to get into the state tournament. If they lose their next match, they're done. And the Mustangs, you know, they're 1 win away now from punching their 4th straight trip to the state tournament, 2 wins away from capturing an EDC title. Do want to remind you